Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Welcome Mr. John Behan, everybody. John Behan.
Hey guys, how you doing? Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Hey, any Mexicans in the audience? No, great, I can tell this joke. Now this is one you have to yell back how many, all right? Ready? How many Mexicans does it take to screw in a light bulb? Just one. The normal people like you or me. We're all racists. All of you, each and every one of you. My friends were complaining about my cell phone message. They said that it's too lame because I'm not 13 anymore. I can't be like, my bad, John. Like, you know, I have to do something of substance. But enough of them are complaining that I'm thinking about changing it. And this is what I'm pitching. Tell me what you guys think. Hi, you've reached 312-375. Oh my God, bears! My lightsaber! Wow, wow, wow! Al Capone! Brr, brr. Dun, 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 dun. Elsa, give me your hand, sweetheart. Give me your hand. Dun, 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 dun. A chicken chorus. Back, 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 back. We're safe. Earthquake! You guys like it? You think that's a keeper? Thank you. That joke was produced by George Lucas. I love media, man. I love music. Is it me, or did Martin Scorsese buy like 12 albums in 1978 and then was like, screw it, that's all you're getting. Steel wheels for the rest of your life. Deal with it. I love music, man. I love rock and roll. I love the Beatles music. But as much as I love the Beatles music, I love the Beach Boys screwed up backstories, because like the Beach Boys are the most screwed up, like dysfunctional family in the history of the world. And the Beatles have these weird songs, but they have these quaint stories behind them. Like they asked George Harrison, you know piggies? Everywhere there's little piggies leading piggy lives. They asked him, they were like, George, what's going on, man? That's a pretty weird tune. And he was like, well, I'm making a statement about capitalism. I'm making a statement about commercialism. I'm making a statement that there are people who eat at the trough of society and they just want more and more. They don't care what's going into their body, they just want more. They were like, all right. Could have just said that, but all right, we'll give you a pass. Brian Wilson, man. Brian Wilson, why'd you write Good Vibrations? I was walking through the park with my mom, and a dog started barking at her. And I said, Mom, why is that dog barking at you? And she said, dogs can sense vibrations. So I wrote Good Vibrations. Why'd you write Caroline No? I was having a dream where I was having sex with a quadrillion hooker that's a four-headed space race of prostitutes, and we had a murder-suicide pact, and as I put the gun underneath the third head, I pulled the trigger, she put the machete in my throat and said, Brian, should I do it? And I said, Caroline, no. And she slit my throat and my blood became stars. Why'd you write? I don't want to do this anymore. Why'd you write Serpent Safari? Oh, my brother Dennis, he was really into surfing, and I always wanted to go on safari. So I thought that would be a cool hybrid of things, like a surfing safari, you know? Really? Like that's it? Yeah. Well, they cut the third and fourth verse where I go ashore and rape and kill the natives. All right, Brian. Back into your cage. That guy did a lot of drugs. And we have the records to prove it. Oh man, I don't do many drugs anymore. I just drink, really. I love drinking though. Oh man, I used to live up in Rogers Park, which is a neighborhood in Chicago in case you're from out of town. It's up north, and there was only one 4 a.m. There are two kinds of licenses in Chicago: a 2 o'clock and a 4 o'clock license. And there was one 4 a.m. bar in the area. It was called the Oasis, shortened to the O. And we used to have this thing. Those are O fans right there. You can probably smell them from where you're sitting. And we shortened it to the O, and we used to have what was called the Oh No rule. And it would usually come into effect around 1:30 in the morning. And people would say, hey, want to go to the O? And we'd say, oh no, because nothing good ever happens at a 4 o'clock bar. There's no altruistic. Nobody ever sits at 2:30 in the morning at the bar and fills out their organ donor card. It doesn't happen. But I had to amend this rule because I fell in love with two things: mechanical bull riding and karaoke. Oh, God bless them. I love them both. And those are extracurricular drinking activities. That's like, you know, when you go in and you're like, hey, I swear to God I did all my research. Can I hand in the paper Tuesday instead of Monday? You're basically going to the bartender and you're like, look, I swear to God I'm friggin' loaded. Let me on the bowl. And they do. God bless them. But this happened to me the other day, and I'm not one of those comics like, you know, I was on an airplane the other day. You are afraid of planes. That clearly never happened. This actually happened to me the other day. I went into the Hidden Cove, which is my local karaoke bar, and I went in there, and nobody was in there except for the locals and me and my friends. And I put on my favorite jam, Suffragette City by David Bowie. Oh, yeah! Bam, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. And I go in there, and I put on my tune, and nobody was speaking. Everybody was paying attention during the song. You can hear pin drops. And then at the end, there was thunderous applause, and everybody joined in for the last chorus. It was absolutely amazing, and I swear to God this happened. Just then they decided to hold open and free elections for the first time in the history of the bar, and they elected me the leader of the bar, and they were like, we want to make you our king. And I was like, guys, I don't want to be your king. That's not what we were fighting for. And we didn't like the connotations that president had, so we decided on czar. I was the czar of the bar, and I swear to God this happened. I swear to God, just then the orcs started attacking the Highlands from the west, and we knew the princess was hiding there with the gossamer diamond, so we galloped upon our steeds, and halfway through we were ambushed by the ogres. Apparently the ogres and the orcs had put aside thousands of years of bad blood to come together against the humans. And we make it to the orc village, and it looked like they had us pinned down. And when just then my former best friend Karnar Trival came over the hill with his army, laid waste to the orcs, we were about to have our joyous reunion when the orc king ran him through. We went atop a mountain and battled, and then they called last call. And apparently some of the orcs wanted to sing Shine On You Crazy Diamond. So I love karaoke, I guess is the point of that. Big karaoke fan. Over here. Oh man. I don't know, a lot of misnomers to say. Like I was reading the New York Times the other day, and there was this article about how Coca-Cola is trying to establish a better product presence in South Africa. Like that's the one part of the globe they haven't conquered yet. And I think it might have to do with the name of their flagship sports drink, because if you go to South Africa and you're like, hey guys, want to buy some Powerades? They're like, no dude, regular AIDS is screwing us up pretty bad. Like 56% of the population is infected. Powerade sounds like a horrible idea. If you got some Powerade ET, we'd be down with that Powerade ET, but... You know, they have like a Coke Plus with vitamins and minerals now. They should have like a Coke Antiretroviral. Be a really big seller in South Africa. It's a misnomer, man. A lot of misnomers in our society. Like Chicago Fire, horrible misnomer. One of the most atrocious events in the history of humanity / professional sports team. Like we're the only people who do that. They don't have the Stuttgart Final Solution, you know? They're not gonna have the New Orleans Hurricanes or the Virginia slack handgun laws anytime soon either. Not gonna come to pass.